that I want to love, huh? What's wrong with that? Yeah, stop judging me.
You make me question my life choices sometimes, dog.
I question mine all the time, so now welcome to my world. Oh, wow.
Man, really.
Look at Skip.
All of this because of a box of chicken nuggets. You want to beat a bitch with a box of chicken nuggets.
Look at Escape.
Sometimes I wish we could have normal introductions. I wish we could have normal intros. Welcome back out. Yes, I'm actually recording this time, so I'm upset, dog.
You never said nothing. No.
I thought for the life of me we could have a normal intro.
How about this? How about you edit that out?
Fine, you know how much work. You don't give me no work for the dog.
You barely do any work. Look how long the summer with they ain't supposed to edit out the longest while.
But with what?
Subbing from Adonis.
Listen.
You know what, dog? It's been over a year now.
How am I supposed to? You want me tech down to something and friggin' clip them? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
And then upload them again.
Should have done that before.
Welcome back,
You're too
Outcasts.
slow.
Welcome back, Outcasts, to another episode of the Outcast Podcast. Give me some of that goddamn water. Now you're doing insanity. Running me fucking half mental. Yeah. Welcome back to the podcast, Outcasts. I've said that for like the 4th, 5th time because of this guy. Outcast Podcast, you know that it's me.
Good bus.
You know that it's me, your host. The incomparable Jake, alongside my pendulous ball-having co-host.
80s.
And despite him doing his weird shit, stop fucking doing that, dog. I need a camera so people can see you, dog. Yo. Stop that shit.
When that crisp water hit different, man.
Yo, just give me some water, dog. Yeah, you're killing me. Jesus have mercy. I'm sorry.
Can't even wash the cup. Washing the
I
cup.
want niggas to. I just. It's making me cry.
What's wrong with washing the cup, boss?
Shut up. Yeah.
Oh, you want the water in a dirty cup? Is that what you want?
We're gonna get a proper studio one day and a proper camera. And you're gonna be recorded. So I'm just waiting. Anyway. Today we're supposed to be talking about what were we gonna talk about? Hades, tell me.
So you want something about Defense Force and rappers? And
there we go. Well, to be fair, I actually wanted today's podcast episode to be a lot more introspective about us as West Indians. But you know something? I'll save that for another episode. I don't think our first episode back should be something so I don't want to say political, but so intrusive into our culture. Yeah. So, within the realm of like, yo, boss, I'm sick of you, dog.
You never say you want water.
We can top hang out with you, dog.
Jake, did you not say you want?
We can top hang out with you, dog. I don't want to do that. We'll go back in your school, dog. Yo, stop. Yo, yeah. You can just wash dishes like a normal nigga, dog. We're barely able to record. Go ahead and start this shit.
This is the worst chore, so that's why you gotta make it fun somehow.
Alright, anyway.
Continue.
In terms of Antiguan hip hop, in terms of Antiguan rap music, I want us to have a real bare bones discussion. Why do you think nothing has changed? And I'd like to elaborate a bit on that. nothing has changed since the days of Young Wizard? Because when me and Santana came on the scene, Young Wizard was like the only dude out. Him and his collective of dudes who barely released anyway. That's some nice water. Make sure to hydrate, guys. Water, an official sponsor of the Outcast Nation. Because we lost all our other sponsors. Anyway. Yeah, why has nothing changed since then? Because, again, we came on the scene, his collective, those dudes didn't drop. They were already dropping sparsely anyway. We came onto the scene, did our thing. Jake's 2 did its thing as a group. And Jake's 2 itself didn't. Jake's 2 and the 268s as a collective didn't release too much within the 3 years of it not falling apart. And from musical directions to spread as far as they did. But why do you think not much has changed? Because I have my reasoning as to why I think not much has changed. And that spurs into like a larger discussion. So I want to hear your take on it first.
If you hear my take is long as hell, dog. You want to hear that?
Dog, how long is long as hell? Because even you said we had a timestamp that we got to meet.
It's long, but I'll try and do something.
Please.
Okay, so basically, why I think rap in Antigua hasn't changed. Well, for one, let's talk about one of the main issues. Antiguans are some of the most least supportive people I've ever seen. And not even least supportive in they're least supportive in just being supportive in general. But also very least supportive in what they gravitate to. It's more of the sense of people from Antigua. They'll go and support their friends. The friends or some popular people on Instagram that they know. Who just start making music. And don't get me wrong. Shit. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Some of these people have actually palatable music, dog. But
shout out to No Love Night.
There was a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there who literally just supported a bunch of niggas who started doing rapping because they thought it was cool and they wanted to be recognized for that.
I love QP.
Okay. So yeah, there's for me, like trying to get on top in a rap sense in Antigua has to be one of the most hardest things to do, because niggas do not take that shit seriously, especially because of how gimmicky people are, which is another reason why I think nothing has changed. Everybody's so gimmicky, dog, and not even gimmicky in an interesting way. Gimmicky in the take a bunch of beats for a bunch of artists, which I understand. Type beats are type beats, right? But take a bunch of generic beats for other artists and then make the same exact music as those other artists, dog. Don't try to put you in your own spin. Don't try to put like a little bit of inflection in your voice to make something different. Like there's no creativity. There's nothing. There's just gimmick. There's freaking copying gimmicks that are being copied from other rappers in other places, dog, which is ridiculous. And because of that, people don't take people seriously, dog. Don't get me wrong, Wizard was doing stuff, dog, but Wizard was very gimmicky, dog.
He was gimmicky, but I believe him being gimmicky spoke into his innovation. I think that's the realm that separates like a Wizard from like a lot of these other guys. Because if I have a real conversation, even when I first heard about him, I complained about him because I was like, dog, this nigga makes some bullshit. But looking back, genuinely, he was starting his own wave that realistically needed to be done. Because if he didn't, and he didn't put such a spin on it, it wouldn't have mattered to anybody else. And anybody else who came on would have been able to easily take any recognition away from his name. Hell, you have to speak on even the lore of Wiz Up when we're talking about him being a quote unquote Antigua's first rapper. Because I think the lore at the time was this dude done with school, finished, graduated from a very nice school, had a decent education, said boy, he's gonna give it all up to be a friggin' rapper in Antigua. Like you have to respect the lore and the cojones on this man. And he was doing this before this shit was even popular in the country. Before this shit was even accepted in the country or liked in the country. He went all in super early. And I think that's what speaks more. It wasn't just the fact that he was gimmicky. I think it was the fact that he had the cojones to really go all in on that shit.
I can see that. I can understand where you're coming from. Even so, it just doesn't. There's nothing too crazy. But also the fact, what was my next point? Oh yeah, there's no marketplace at all for that section in Antigua. Let's be real. The fact that was actually got performances actually appalls me. It actually appalls me. Like what? Like, and realistically, those performances is what, like kids, dog. Again, it was gimmicky, and that the novelty of having an Antiguan rapper was doing all that crazy shit, dog. It was very gimmicky, but kids were attracted to it. But there's no long-lasting market for that shit. So realistically, there's nothing changed. I remember when I actually thought that Antiguan rap was popping off, and that was 2020 when I was still a kid, in my opinion.
Dog, Antiguan rap in 2020 had its place.
And you know what hurt me, dog?
It was a real turning point, really. And we turned down the wrong corner. What hurt you?
It hurt me that, realistically, it was all facade, because the reason why it was going up was because everybody was locked in the house and had nothing better to do.
Yes. So that was the turning point. We had a chance. Just a chance. We had a chance for the V-Lone Codys to pop out. Or the Polo Sparks, I guess. Yeah, the Polo Sparks at the time. Shout out. Hey, word to Polo Sparks, man. Went to school with him. I went to school with him. I went to school with him. Listen. He's, for anybody who's ever questioned shit, nigga, that nigga has always been on his own timing. That's one thing that I'll give him credit for. He's always been on his own timing. Even though I'm not even a particular fan of like his last project when he became V-Lone Cody, I gotta give him credit. He's always been on his own time, and even when we were in school, this dude was never afraid to be himself or be a different character. So shout out to him for that. That's major love coming from me. I don't know what the fuck he's doing now. We don't know what he's doing now. We lost track of him after V-Lone Cody.
Could have swear this man had a kid.
Yes, he does. He does have a kid, and I think maybe another kid.
That's mad.
Maybe he has another kid now. Who knows? But and after his last release, we have no idea what happened to him. We got no idea what if he even changed his name again and is a different rapper. And beyond that, but I can still remember being in the freaking Rap Stars group in Instagram for Antiguan rappers. Hey, shout out to that group as well. It's sort of really fallen off by now, but shout out to that group as well. And he was telling people, "Dog, I'm gonna be the next big thing. I'm gonna be doing performances once I'm out of quarantine. Yada yada yada. I'm gonna be flying." He had his manager talking for him. It was real shit. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for that. Right? He's always moved to the beat of his own drum, and I gotta give him love for that as a colleague. As a colleague, I gotta give him love for that. Continue. I'm sorry, I really cut you off.
I can't even remember. There's no marketplace.
Yeah, there's no marketplace.
There was something else, another big point that I had, but I can't really remember it too well. I thought about the gimmickiness.
Yeah.
Talked about the timing. Yeah. Honestly, the biggest problem is just Antiguans in general.
Hmm.
They're not, dog. You know, it's just niggas cannot support shit, dog. Like even like people who come overseas, dog. Like
Burner boy.
artists that come over, big artists that come overseas, dog.
They can't get the crowd moving here.
Just Antiguan people just so dead and stush.
That's real shit.
I too stush, dog. I too good for jump up. I can't even put on phone lines in the ear, boss.
Like, that's some real shit, dog. I think we've mentioned this before, but I remember when I must have been 15 seeing some big, I don't remember who he was. I think he was coming from Jamaica or whatever. But that nigga came to Antigua, was doing like
Charlie Massacre.
Maybe. He was doing like a whole show, dog. He spent the entire time trying to reach out to the crowd, nigga. And niggas was just standing there. And it's like, boss, what wrong with you, dog? I ain't to pay for coming here.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't to pay money, dress up. Yeah, I'm sure I spend $600 for another clothes. I fucking weird, dog. And
I swear, dog.
And all I walk it. What wrong with I for real?
You niggas say, Tal, this brother man come thing that I dress up. Get everybody there just to do nothing.
Just for turn up like this. With your arms folded, I pull up your hand and sip your friggin' Magnum out your beer. What wrong with I, man? For real. No, that shit messed me up, dog. Because I was a kid, and even then I was like, boss, why? Like, I didn't even like the music. I didn't like the music. But even I was there, particularly out of the fact that I was working it. I was working the fucking venue, right? And I was helping out the family, right? But I was there just out of commitment, you know, just out of I had to be there. But all the niggas that paid to get in, all the niggas that took time out of their friggin' weekend, came here, was happy, yada yada, y'all realize he's already been paid? This nigga could literally just walk around the stage while the music plays and do fuck all and leave. And you're telling me you people paid to get in here and ain't not yet. Why? For what? That upset me. That upset me genuinely. And it opened my eyes at a young age to like, oh, if we were ever even going to make like any headway and really put any effort into being musicians, you know, there was going to be nothing.
That actually goes into what I wanted to say. But it stems from the whole Antiguan thing. Dog, stop trying to market your shit here.
Yeah.
Stop trying to market your shit.
Yeah. I was actually getting to that, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, bro. Don't market your shit here, dog. These people do not care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the biggest thing I've seen done, dog, was probably the artist takeover, which I'm actually very, very happy about that. I'm very proud.
Mm-hmm.
They actually did really well.
Yep.
I wish some of our people would... Actually, no. One of our people got there.
Shout out to Masa.
Huh?
Shout out to Masa. Word to Masa. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Queso. He actually got on the stage.
Yes. Shout out to Queso. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very, very happy about that. It was actually a nice platform to actually show, like, Antiguan artists, dog. From rappers to dancehall artists, dog. Which I'm also sad that I'll give it to them, dog. You know, the dancehall artists have kind of been making some motion in Antigua.
Antiguan dancehall has been its own wave.
But it still hasn't been to the degree that I think it should be. But yeah, I'm very happy about the artist takeover. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully it'll be nice, more people. You know, just imagine how nice it feels to actually get paid.
Hopefully we won't be walking in and out of the place the whole time.
That's true.
He got pissed at us because me and your uncle kept going in and out of the freaking venue every time an artist got off the stage, and he was trying to do the interviews outside. Now, yo, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are, bro. I'm sorry. We did that.
I mean,
that was us.
At least situate your stuff better, dog.
Sure, but hey, I give him credit for even having like post performance interviews.
True.
I'll give him credit for that. Even having post performance interviews, I'll give him credit for that. Maybe next time he'll have like a backdrop or some shit.
It was actually a nice spectacle. I'll give
it. It really was. It really was. Shout out to Artist Takeover. For me, in terms of why this shit doesn't move in Antigua, there is no authenticity.
Yeah.
There is no authenticity and there is no actual love for what you're doing. as a rapper, as a musician, as anything. There's no substance, and I don't even care about substances in, oh, you gotta make me feel like your last 10 years of life or some shit. I'm talking substances in you're not just saying the same thing as everybody else. Or you're not just ripping the same shit from some dude in America who's and then just using it in your own little not even in your own little way, just using it. You're saying?
Like, talk about drugs, talk about killing, talk about murder, talk about sex, talk about all that shit, dog. You can tell when someone's doing that shit because they like it, dog. You can tell when niggas having fun.
Yeah.
Doing what they're doing, dog.
And a lot of these dudes are not. They're just getting behind the mic, throwing on some auto-tune, and it means fuck all to them.
They just want to see
how far they can go.
Yeah.
And look, I'll give you credit because that's how some of the better performers in history sort of started. You know, how many rappers do we know that are just like, I wasn't taking rap seriously and I just hopped in the studio one day, you know? But in Antigua, especially, a lot of these dudes are just posting whatever for shits and giggles. And personally, it's because we've been doing this. Jake's, who's been around since late 2017. 2018, yeah, late 2017 is how I can clearly say I have seen so many Antiguan rappers come and go, and it's almost been 7 years since we started this.
Yep.
That's mad. That's mad, actually. But anyway, we're getting back to it. I've seen so many people come and go, and it's because they didn't care. They were just trying to see how many views they could get, how many and then like you go back to these channels later, or you go back to them a couple of years later, and they don't exist, or there's no more. There hasn't been music posted in forever. And hey, to my own dismay and my own credit, there hasn't been shit posted for us in 2 years. But we certainly haven't given up. But then I even came back to some of these people years later. Why, dog? Why do you do this to me? Anyway, we came back to some of these people years later, and it's been 4 years since a post. And some of these dudes, they just straight up don't rap anymore. Some of them have careers now. I've looked into it. Some of these dudes, they just started working and shit, dog. They just straight up don't rap anymore. They gave up a long time ago. They don't care. That hurts me a little bit, but I can understand it. It's reasonable, especially in a country with no support like this, like you were saying. There's not really going to be any realm. There's got to be a level of delusion or not giving a fuck for you to continue being a musician.
One of our own celebrities, basically, Tian Winter, says that niggas don't give support, dog. It's saying something, dog.
Yeah, it's real shit, and that's coming from Tian Winter, Mr. Soca, Mr. Road March Carnival himself, one of our most successful musicians. The man, he's done it big here and in other countries, and he says it himself. There's no support here. He's grateful for the fact that he made it out. He's lucky and blessed to have made it out in such a way and to have actually blown up in any regard.
R.I.P. Ricardo Drew.
Fuck, there's a lot to talk about. Yo, R.I.P. Ricardo Drew, for real. I was actually toasted a drink when I found out he died. So I immediately ended up posting, man, R.I.P. to the professional drinker. R.I.P. to the professional for real. That surprised a lot of people, though. I can't lie to you. The entire country was actually surprised. And then there's like a drama. But we're not gonna bring light to the drama. We're not gonna bring light to all that. We're not gonna talk about all that because I can't. I don't want to do that. Nigga's already dead. R.I.P. to him. But yeah. There's no authenticity. There's no substance. There's no feeling to it. You can tell when somebody really wants to do something, they're not doing it. And then it becomes a larger conversation, right? Because beyond just having like a regular conversation about rap, right? There's like, it's the matter of if you care. It's the matter of if you care as a musician and what you may have to bring to it to make it something. Because something about Antigua that I realized, I have 2 points for this. My first point is that we could really build a culture of rap in Antigua. Even if the culture of rap didn't explode crazy, We could genuinely build a culture of rap in Antigua if dudes actually put care into making projects. Or dudes not only just put out singles, but put out releases. Marketed their shit and properly put out albums and releases. Because the majority of musicians that have come and gone in my time in Antigua and actually making music, these dudes, all they did was put out a bunch of singles. I ain't see nobody else. It wasn't until Jax that I ever noticed an Antiguan rapper actually doing an album. Even down to freaking Wizop. Wizop at the time, I think he had released one mixtape, and that was after a whole bunch of singles that he just sort of pulled together.
I've only seen one mixtape out of that, man. It wasn't the most cohesive. It wasn't the best out of his shit. So.
See? So it's like rappers really don't do that shit in this country, right? And I think if rappers in Antigua got into that, I have to make a project mindset, that would really, because the mindset of making a single and the mindset of making a project is different.
I mean, they have a couple,
Wait. Think about them. Put a pin in that, because I actually want to bring up something on that later.
Alright.
Fuck. Did I forget my second point? Crap. Nah, we gotta write shit down. Yeah, we could create a culture within rap right now, because the mindset of actually being in project mode and making something for a project or a mixtape or an album or an EP or whatever will set a different standard of quality and atmosphere to a project. It really will, and it will show in your own releases. And then my second point, if I can remember it, because I just remembered it and then I forgot it again, is in terms of I want Antiguan rappers to just make music, dog. Forget about marketing here, because you said it earlier. Marketing here is some bullshit. Don't market here. Market internationally. Antiguan rappers will put out shit on YouTube and nowhere else. And that includes us. We'll put out shit on YouTube and nowhere else. Dudes will not have a Spotify. Dudes won't have a TuneCore. They won't have a DistroKid. They won't hook up a credit card to a friggin' DistroKid or a TuneCore freaking account and be like, bro, let me distribute through you guys, please. Figure something out.
I think one of the biggest ways that if I was still making music like properly, I would be doing Discord, man.
Yeah.
Discord, like not even just putting, because trust me, putting your shit in like a Discord,
just throwing links, bullshit,
dog. Like going in, maybe like asking some people to critique your music, like building a genuine following and just like interaction and like critiquing and feedback, dog. People ain't even doing that, dog.
No, they're not.
Cause trust me, right now niggas need new music. They need different music too.
Very much so. But we're not gonna get into that, because that'll be a whole thing in hip hop alone. But yeah, Antiguan rappers will put shit out on YouTube alone, post it on their status, get their friends to throw it on Instagram. And if you're a popular Antiguan and a lot of people like you, you know what I'm saying, or a lot of people may like your friend who will post it, you'll get 600 views. You'll get 1.5K even on like an extremely good day. But you won't really get any interaction. You won't really get any love out of it. You won't get any, but the viewer retention, it won't be a thing. It won't be a thing, because the majority of Antiguans aren't looking for new music, and they're certainly not looking for new hip hop. And they're certainly even more not looking for new hip hop from Antigua. At this point, niggas only want to hear Young Boy and fucking all the Chicago drill or any other rap beat bullshit.
Niggas even listen to that. Well, niggas do, but I don't know.
They don't rep it as hard as they used to, as I recall.
Diversity in the music.
But it's still there, you know. The love and the love for it is still there. It's to the point where it's crazy.
God, the Young Boy people, dog.
Yeah, market your shit. Throw it through a DistroKid or something. I'm giving this advice to myself, because I was just thinking about that. We need to actually have that conversation.
I think
about distribution, about getting on Spotify, about actually like before we even do a next release, we actually have to put shit together and actually come correct this time because this is some bullshit.
what I think people need to do more of
Mm.
is put out more music. Shit, even if you're just putting out more music on YouTube, dog.
Put out more shit.
Put out more shit.
Yeah, dudes aren't putting out anything.
If it's one person, I will say is consistent as shit.
Dog, I was gonna bring him up. I'll do it. Do what you want.
If it's one person who's consistent who's put out so much shit, it's Trap a Lot, dog.
Yeah.
Trap a Lot 268. This man has put out
project after project after project,
single after single,
mixtape, project, album, EP. It doesn't matter.
I'm really
and
upset that he took all that down, dog.
I am as well. And that's not even. I'm pissed at him too.
That's a whole.
More boxy scunt in the dog. But hey, man, yeah. Anybody listening to this might think we have beef with him, but dog, Trap a Lot's my brother, dog. You know what I'm saying? Me and him were working in the same shitty supermarket. Making music together, dog. Like me, Hades, we're all friends. So it's love over here, dog. But we're mad at him for even taking down a lot of his discography. We're mad at him for doing that.
Still can't make the mixtape.
Shut up. Okay, we're gonna try to make love for the streets this year. All right? It's just.
Oh, really?
What? You tell him that I love my. Anyway, I'm not gonna let you distract me. We'll make the damn tape. We'll collaborate.
Okay.
Okay. Stop that.
Okay. Now, I believe you. Full of faith. Pull future kids panel. like Kevin Gates when he swore.
May God murder my children. Right now, today. Kevin. It was when academics was like, Kevin. No, don't do that. And that was when academics was like, boss. We can talk play with you, boss. This man serious. We not gonna do it. If I'm lying, may God murder my children. Right now, today. I'm sorry. I'm just remembering that. I love that video now because Kevin, academic started off the video was like, boss, you did not start no car battery with your bare hands. And Kevin was like, nah, if I'm lying, may God murder my children. Right now, today. And academic was like, Kevin, stop. Yeah. Oh boy, that's a good laugh. Shout out to Kevin Gates, dog. Word to the G. Word to that clip, dog. Word to academics. Oh hell no. Yeah. Trap a lot consistently. He's been putting out music, and bit by bit he was getting better. Even if like a lot of his tracks weren't properly mixed, weren't properly mastered, they weren't properly put together on a soundboard or whatever, you could hear background noise. Every project, you could at least find one track where you fully loved it. And that was more than enough.
I miss listening to Pain, dog. One of his most streamed songs for a reason.
Yeah. Boy. Hey, don't worry. Love for the Streets coming soon. We're gonna revitalize some shit. Don't worry.
Bro. It's like they don't understand. The more you put out, like I can understand, like
not wanting to just throw anything out there.
Nah, because we all have this. We all have this idea of like scarcity and shit, but there's no sense of making your shit scarce
in a friggin' market where nobody wants to search, where there's nobody coming to the market anyway. You can't just hoard all your shit. Release as much as you can.
See what people like. See what people are vibing with, dog. Experiment.
And with that, I wanted to really bring like another bit to it. It would be like the conversation of like, huh? It's how long are we? How long have we been doing this? Bloody hell! We've been doing this half an hour. 34 minutes. When it comes like in terms of like authenticity, as I was saying, I think somebody posted up, was it on Facebook or some shit, or whatever. Niggas was like, bruh, Young Banshee and Lil Timmy B are in the Antiguan Defense Force, dog. And niggas was making light of that shit, and I can't lie, when I saw the picture, I laughed. Because I was like, damn, this nigga's really in the military? That's crazy. Pause right now. I bet it's a conversation I even wanted to have. When I saw that, I laughed, dog, because I was like, man, these guys really joined the military. But even if they don't stay in the military forever, because again, this might be, we all know music ain't paying, right? But even if they don't stay in the military for long, and they may go outside a certain realm, and maybe they come back after a year or two, or even after a year, the conversation could really bring something else. Because I believe sometimes what it's lacking in the country, in terms the reason why authenticity was lacking in the country like that, really came down to a matter of character. A lot of these dudes have no character, dog. And that comes down to the fact that a lot of them are super young. Dudes are like 14, 15, not even 20-year-olds pursuing this. They have no character, so there's not really any devotion to this, and there's not that big of a culture in it within the country. So then that brings them without, they just lack the potential character to even go along with the thing. And it's hilarious in that aspect. So when I saw they were in, I was saying, like, dog, if they come back after a year, the music might really be different. Music might really be different, and hell, they might be actually solidified if they start talking that stick talk. Because, you know, at least then they would have actually held a firearm. So that would have brought some authenticity to something. Yeah, that's why. And that's what I wanted to bring up.
I see.
Do you agree in any way?
Yeah, I believe it's a definite possibility. I know a lot of niggas in Antiguan rap lacking character.
Yeah, they're lacking character. Even since we haven't released in the last 2 years, I am somewhat happy. Not only with the last release that we did, which, as rushed as it was, and was a shit show behind the scenes to put together, God knows. it was right now, that was a good, I'm still proud of the fact that was a good release to end on, because it showed some growth and some level of devotion and change in character. And now, when we inevitably, and I'm saying inevitably because we're not giving up. I'm not stopping creating anything. When the return happens. Yeah, the comeback would be completely different, because whatever we put out next isn't gonna sound like anything that really came before, and whatever comes after that certainly won't, because the artistry and the whole way we even put things together, like building blocks, is like different. It is graphically changed. It's like using sandstone bricks compared to actual brick and mortar now.
True.
So it'll be built up differently. The evolution is there. One thing I do want to give credit to, though, is there's a very small amount of dudes out here who are doing as much as possible. Again, shout out to No Love Night, but who really gets my attention, despite the fact that I'm not the happiest with his whole discography. Shout out to Young Z. Shout out to Young Z for real.
Another person talk about consistency.
Yeah, in terms of consistency, anything else, in terms of consistency.
Give the man his roses.
No, I'm giving him his roses, dog.
He's improved somewhat well.
Yes, he has.
In the last project that we properly listened to,
which has been however long, so maybe he's dropped 6 projects by now. Christ, I just gave you an idea. Anyway, yeah. Barring anything else, consistency at the very least, he excels in spectacularly. He evolves amazingly. And he hasn't stopped at all. Give him credit. I'll give him credit right there. That right there. He's doing a couple things wrong, and he's definitely riding a couple of waves, but even my love cute. Yeah, but even if he's riding a couple of waves, dog, he's definitely got more enthusiasm in this than a lot of other dudes, and that's where you really get credit. That music video alone, the first music video you ever showed me for him, dog.
Which one?
The one on the beach.
Oh
Yeah. Like that right there. You know, looking back, I'm like, you know what, man? Shout out to him. He actually made a whole music video with this shit. Didn't do. He did it. It had some soul to it. It had some fun to it. Regardless of whatever. Shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for that, for real. He's shown spectacular consistency in that area, and there's nothing but love in that regard. I want to see what he continues to do. I hope that he doesn't get discouraged, you know, and things fall apart, because again, it's very hard to stay doing this when there's no love in it, when there's not even a place where you could get criticism, you know.
Like, I question myself, because people always question, like, you know, why you ain't making beats or making songs and shit, right? I question myself how much I love music for a long time. That I realized, like, I can't stop thinking about making beats. I can't stop thinking about making songs. I can't stop
thinking about rapping.
I can't stop I literally freestyle in my spare time. Like, I will listen to beats and make freestyles in my head.
I can't stop rapping, dog. I straight up can't.
A lot of things just have deterred me, dog.
Yeah. And it slowed down what should in your heart be a spectacular passion. That shouldn't be so easy to deter in any realm.
I remember saying, "Oh, I'm gonna freaking graduate college and live on my own and make music."
Boy.
That was a time.
That was a time.
What a time to be alive, for real.
What a time to be alive.
That was a time I'll never forget that. That was a little dipshit.
I'll never forget one of my earlier bars. I don't remember which song exactly, and I want to go back and figure out which song it was.
I'll never forget that we made a whole entire plan for a project, and then we didn't record anything.
Yes, we didn't record any of the information, so all
that is just lost.
All of that is lost. I think if we sat down and really talked about, you know,
probably only realistically we're only going to get a quarter of that.
Yeah, 40% at best. The rest of it, we're gonna have to freaking start all over again and rebuild something. So wow, I don't remember which song it was, but somewhere around some track, I remember saying something. I don't even know if we ever released that track, or if it was just a reference track I laid down and never used. I remember saying something regarding that I would want to make 2021 or 2022's XXL. And the time is coming past, and we're in 2024, and we're about the time where we're about to be waiting for a release of the list. And I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but I haven't been contacted by anybody. I haven't been hit up, you know what I'm saying? We haven't flown out. I haven't done any photo shoots.
I don't even think it's worth it at this point.
I'd still do it.
It depends.
It really depends. It depends on the position we're at, because if we're at the position where it'd be much more useful to tour or sit and create, then yes, definitely. But if we're at the position where, you know, just barely and we're lucky as shit and get a link and some dude brings and they're like, yo, yada yada, and we're definitely the underdog on the list, dog, like at that point, that's when you gotta look at it like, okay, well, I'm gonna do the photo shoot. I don't really care. I'm gonna do the cover. You know what I'm saying? I remember saying 2021, 2022, double XL. You know what I'm saying? So it's now that time has come past. We're getting on to 2024. I want to see what's next, and I still within my heart, I don't even want to give up. So it's a different thing. It's a real different conversation. It's a real different conversation. But yeah, consistency matters. Putting out a shitload of music matters. In Antigua, there's lots of reason as to why shit hasn't changed. We ourselves haven't. We ourselves as creators and as listeners haven't really put together ourselves and tried to create a resource of some that we could really have a culture built around this. And one of our larger mistakes, even for the people that aren't as consistent but maybe trying to make something, is that we're still marketing here. We're still marketing in here. We're still in here marketing only in here. We're not marketing outward. We're not reaching out. We're not collectively joining together and maybe trying to push into one realm and get another freaking realm of agency. And we're not pushing towards streaming. We're not pushing towards DistroKid, all these other ways of distribution, and I'd like us to do that. Any words?
Not the same reiteration, though. Honestly, no matter how bad your music is, as long as you love the shit.
Mm-hmm. As long as you love the shit, it's what it is, dog.
No matter how bad, how much it might not seem that you're made up for something, dog. As long as you love it, you will improve. Who knows?
You might be the nigga to come back and sell out the stadium.
Make sure there's something.
Yeah.
Make sure there's something.
But yeah, with that, guys, I believe that'll be the end of this episode. It feels weird to be back. It feels weird to even do this one, even on such a weird time constraint, or even for like the little, because again, we may not even have the time to do this again for a while. We're really trying to fix it in, but that might be the end of today, man. Thanks a lot for y'all listening, man. Stay working on music.
Stay consistent.
Stay involved with a local artist, nigga. Please invest in a nigga.
Stay improving. But above all else,
Stay on.